Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Dead Space on Impossible difficulty, and this is the PC version. So this area out here, we will be coming back to do the final boss, who isn't that difficult, to be honest. So this is Chapter 12. It's the self-entitled Dead Space chapter, and we are using the plasma cutter only, and doing a few minute tasks here of moving this platform here so that we can put the marker on it, and then we'll be moving the marker for the majority of the chapter. So it's not too difficult. You see that my health and my stasis are a little bit low, actually less than half of each. But by the time I finished this chapter, I had about 30 med packs unused. Definitely get a lot of ammunition. There's many gunfights here that you could possibly run out of ammunition on. Stasis and ammo, biggest things that will help you. I mean, if you don't have that, how are you expected to do the level? And there's plenty of everything to go around. So the first fight is pretty damn difficult. No checkpoint, and I think I did it no damage. Yeah, I did everything no damage, except I got hit by a missile by a lurker, but what can you really do? Oh, I forgot about this. We're going to do a few interesting things here. We're going to go in here, save our progress. There's a store, there's a bench. This is where the battery is located. Wonderful dread that this creates right here by having that guy at the window. So you want to keep these guys in here. If you have to, just go in so that the door closes behind you, so that they don't infect the corpses out in the main room. And it's just these two guys, and then a divider afterwards when you're trying to take the battery back. A wonderful level. I love this level. So everything's coming full circle. What a great game. This game set the bar so high. So when you move the battery back, you're gonna have a divider out here. You'll probably hear him as you try to exit this facility here. I think they may have fixed that in Dead Space. When you're holding things with stasis, with kinesis, I think in Dead Space 2 you can open doors without having to drop what you're holding with the kinesis gun. So put the battery there for the time being, exit, and then we'll face a divider for the last time. So I hope you've enjoyed this guide. We'll be running like right over here up until, when we get to the final boss. It's actually kind of, the only problem about the final boss is that he summons, he kind of births two lackeys, two pregnants. And sometimes you don't get the lackeys. And there was one instance where I didn't get them. I cleared the boss, but I couldn't put that in the guide. I needed to have. It's the same way with Gears of War 3, where sometimes 1 out of 50 times you don't get the enemies. I forget what they're called, the hunters or something. On that final phase, you don't get any lackeys, and when you play it so many times, you're bound to have it happen to you one time. It happened to me too, but that's not going to help anybody when they're watching the video. So I redid the fight first try and finished it. So this room can be pretty difficult, or it could be fairly manageable. What you want to do is raise the bridge, but you're always going to have to either stasis it or drag the marker back over to it quickly so that it gets stuck there. The best thing to do is actually keep it there so that enemies can't cross that bridge over to you. But there's still one route that they can go, but you cut the thread off by 50% doing that. So the first thing you want to do is take out this necromorph there, backtrack. There's going to be another slasher and another the first lurker. A lot of enemies, a ton of enemies over here. It's broken by one quiet moment, but it's not a checkpoint. So you want to be using the stasis heavily and just shooting things like crazy over here, and recharge your stasis as you need to. Okay, so this could be pretty difficult if you don't cut that bridge off by pinning the marker there. So with that guy dead, just kind of listen for what's going on. You'll probably hear an exploder coming pretty soon. And a lot of the times I need to kill these enemies so quickly, and you will too probably, that I can't even, even rotating the axis of the gun, I can't even spare the time to do that, because if I do, there's a little slight delay. Sometimes there's input lag with the controller, and it's better to just keep shooting rather than to be so precise about every shot. It's one of those trade-offs about yes, you'll be less precise, but you'll still be pumping these enemies and stunning them and getting the kills quicker, without having to sacrifice the time. So just keep manning this bridge over here. Just keep coming back and forth. Keep stasising enemies. Keep a mental note of who has been stasis the longest, who's coming out of it in the quickest time that you need to get back on them. And it's pretty manageable. There are no twitchers over here, but there is going to be one more spawn. And I wanted to do this no damage, but these guys, the lurkers, are incredibly fast, and they always seem to get a hit in on you when you don't want them to. So that's the first section. No checkpoint. I thought there was a checkpoint there, but I was mistaken, because I let myself die to see if there was a checkpoint. There's not, unfortunately. So move the marker back now. Apply any heals that you need. Regenerate your stasis, but don't waste your inventory to do so, because as you can see, there's stasis regenerating charge stations on the walls on each side of the room here, so it's very convenient. So the enemies are not spawning yet, but I believe if you go over here, then they spawn. So that's what I did. And the second wave is not as many enemies, but these exploders can even if they're on the other side of a bridge that you've cut off the access to, they can sneak up on you and actually drop on you from over here. So there's a hit. Bastards, man. So we're going to move the marker. And oh, I'm sorry, there are three separate waves. That was wave 2 with just the 2 lurkers. And then when you move this marker over here, let's freeze it so it doesn't keep dropping, then you'll have that final spawn. So now these exploders are going to be coming. You'll hear them. They're going to be coming from the right, and if they can't get to you, they'll just go through the vents. And watch out for backing yourself up against the wall over here. Okay, it looks like we need to move the marker under this, so I apologize about all this here. Just freeze it and move the marker over here, and you'll have the final spawn, which should be coming up right about now. So let's see, they're going to come from the right. There they are. One spawns right over there, another spawns to our right, and then one spawns to the left. So just stasis these guys. If they're getting too close, stasis, back off, and this guy is probably going to jump down. He did that really quickly. Nope, that was another guy. So you don't want to just stand against the wall, because that one will jump on you. And then that is the end. So 3 waves that get admittedly progressively easier, but which starts out very difficult with that first fight, and no checkpoint quite yet. So this node door here, it has the if what I remember correctly, whatever weapon you're wielding, when you go through the door, it'll have primarily that ammunition. So if you're really hard up for ammunition and you want to get everything, make sure that you look in the area like where we're at on the ground in between all the platforms, because sometimes things will fall in there. The game might even, oh, you know what, the game, there's this, I just remember this, I wasn't even thinking about it till now, but there's a med pack up on one of the roof areas, like right behind me. Just look around, you'll find a lot of stuff in this game because they coyly hide a lot of stuff. So just move the marker into there. We're going to open the door. And a lot of this reminds me of Dead Space Extraction. Some of the fights on there were pretty challenging to get the high score. Okay. Now we've got some hard times coming. I mean, it's not... I can't tell you how like simple these experiences are for me now, that I struggled on them so much before. Like, I guess you really have to get into the mentality of survival horror. You know, I just thought it was a gun game, and I wasn't, you know, I just wasn't taking the game serious. If you don't take this game seriously enough, you will run out of stuff. But if you're conservative and you know you don't waste stuff, it shouldn't be too bad of an experience for you. So you want to stay over here. There's a guardian on either side of that portal door right there, and you can take out both of them from this vantage point and spare yourself the hassle of trying to deal with those pods, because they'll keep throwing them until they're dead. But after you kill the guardians on the walls, you're still going to have to take care of any pods that are outstanding over here. And it's nice. You get a little bit of clipping, but not much. Very well made mechanics as far as that's concerned, because that's one of the things that really bothers me in third-person games, where you're trying to inch your way around a corner and the bullets just keep hitting the walls. So these guys, I don't think they drop really great items, but this is your chance to save your progress, to go to the store. There's stasis on the walls, so you don't even have to expend your money or your resources in that regard. You just very carefully take care of these enemies. So I have decided I won't be covering Dead Space 2. I apologize for that, but I've played that game way too much, and I would rather play a no damage run of this with the basic suit. You know, it wouldn't even matter what suit you had if you're doing no damage. That's what I would like to do, but I'm not recovering games. That's my channel's motto now. So I'm gonna get back into Metal Gear Rising, the DLC for those games, because I'm really excited to play them. This is pretty damn tough. Not when you're going to the switch, but when you're leaving. It's got some really hard encounters. The first one is this lurker here, the black one. Oh, it's a leaper, my mistake. He's first. This is such a beautiful area. It's got wonderful perspective here, but it can really work against you when you're trying to locate enemies and you're getting completely disoriented. Okay, so the lurker is coming up right around this corner here. So there's only two of them, but when we leave, you do get a checkpoint by the switch. However, I couldn't do it no damage. If I were doing it no damage, I definitely would have stuck it out, and I could have done it. Maybe back off all the way and go back to the switch. That would be a pretty good idea. You know, it's a little cowardly, but when you're doing a run like that, do anything that works. That's my motto. But it's just difficult because of the quick nature of the enemies that you're fighting, and these corners, the turns of the pipe that we're in. So this is your checkpoint down here. in the first enemy group, the first and only spawn. So stasis the fan blade so that you don't get cut up. And then I think the count is 2 lurkers and 1 leaper, and they're the infected ones, which means they have a hell of a lot of HP. So there's the other one to the left. You want to be strafing, you know, when you want to be. It's the irony of wanting to be shooting and strafing at the same time. But you're not just, that fucker got in the hit. I can't tell you how difficult this part is. I mean, is it hard to beat it and succeed? No, it's not. But it's hard to not take damage here. Okay, so there's the last guy. And then we're going to be coming back in. I cannot tell you the struggles that I had when I first played this game. There were just unparalleled stories of misfortune and a lack of preparedness. Like, so many instances, I would just have no ammunition. I would be scraping by for everything. It's really ridiculous. Okay, so he's finally fucking dead. So you'll notice there's a transition over here because I went back, stasised up, got all the items that I could find because we're having a brute. I personally think there should be 2 brutes out here. That might sound pretty masochistic, but I thought there were 2 of them. I just, maybe I was confusing it for the 2 guardians, but I think if they have 2 guardians, there should be 2 brutes. It wouldn't be that bad. I mean, they give you free stasis. But it's just 1 brute, the darker, more infected one that we found on the ship when we were doing that chapter a few chapters back. You'll have to excuse me. I thought we were in 0 gravity, but you're not right here. So they give you a checkpoint right before the door, and you wanted to stasis this guy. Use your vertical aiming to sunder his shoulder, get that arm off. One of the problems that it's not really a problem. It's just kind of just an issue in this game. It's just Isaac is just so fucking slow when he's sprinting. I don't know if it's completely intentional or maybe they needed him to be sped up, and maybe it is to make you feel more helpless. But when you have all of your health intact, I think you should go a little bit faster than what he goes. It feels like it's a penalized sprint. So this guy didn't really much have a chance, did he? So get the power node. Unfortunately, we can't sell them or anything like that, so we're just going to have to keep on persevering here. Great pacing too. In the next section there's another room like this, but there's no enemies, so it kind of works on your nerves in that respect. But the next fight is damn tough, really tough, and it's mainly because of the constant worry on your part that enemies are coming from your rear. Now over here, I'm pretty much going to discard all of the treasures over here because I probably can't hold very much, and I honestly don't need anything here, so it's just going to make the video longer. So I'm going to just skip everything, or most nearly everything. But as far as the progression of difficulty, they do it very well. I mean, I feel bad to have to keep reporting that I'm not struggling, but I'm just trying to give out honest impressions and experiences for everybody. So we're going to push the switch, open this door, you're going to get another checkpoint, and you're not going to be given one for a long time. And this fight it's pretty goddamn hard. Watch out for the electricity. It's instant death. So just watch out for that. And you're going to have 3 tentacles on the left side, meaning you cannot pull the marker unless you take care of the tentacles. But before you know it, you're going to have one of these guys popping out. So don't even worry about the tentacles. And I think there is a finite number of enemies over here. But sometimes you just want to get the job done and finish the objective. So we've got some twitchers coming now. And the nice thing about the tentacles this time around is that they don't keep going back underground out of your reach. Like if you did this back a couple of chapters back, you know, and you aggroed those tentacles and then you moved away from them, they would drop down and they wouldn't come back up unless you approached them. But these ones stay up for some reason. And I'm just going to shoot very rapidly at these guys and just take them out because I need to take them out before the next batch of enemies comes. And I think on my other guide, which was a lot worse, I did pretty well on that guide, but it was so dark and it was only 480. The pixels, they were very pixelated and the quality was very poor because I was using Windows Movie Maker, which is dog shit. So take care of that one. And the other one's pretty far away, so I'm not going to shoot him from over here. So these enemies, they come pretty much on a timer. So you'll kill a set, and there'll be a little bit of a lull, meaning that the game wants you to take out the tentacles and give you a chance. But watch this. I knew I was going to get hit. I knew it. I fucking knew it. But I needed some ammo. A couple of times I ran out of ammo on this part. But did you see the problem right there? It was mainly that thing was at an angle, and I kept pressing the confirm button, but it didn't get confirmed. So now there's just one of these guys to take care of. Keep shooting him, but don't rest on your laurels over here. Keep looking back. Keep looking back and making sure that there's no more enemies, because there probably will be a lot more coming. But just finish this job and then you'll get a checkpoint. And then there actually was one more. So what I did to test this is I just stood here and allowed myself to get killed, but in the process of doing so, I learned the spawns. More twitchers will come out of the vents. So it's just not really worth it to keep wasting your ammo when you can just finish the job of dragging it here. So I was down to my last 6 bullets here actually. So if I had to, I could have just stomped this guy after having stasis him. But fortunately the last bullet killed him. How's that for convenient? So Nicole's going to come out over here, and I'm going to edit the scene with Kendra. And then we're going to walk on this webbed floor, get all the items. And I was tempted to speed this up, but I'm just going to leave it in real time. So bottom line, if you have never played this game and you like third-person shooters, this is a masterpiece. Like, you won't find a game like this very often. And it's so creative, you know. A lot of games are cover-based shooters, which I really love, but a lot of them, they can often feel stale and lacking in creativity. But this game managed to do it really gracefully with having enemies that are very fast and the character being very slow. And they invented a really good mechanic of the stasis. So did a bunch of swapping over here, dropping items so I could fit some stuff, and then we're coming back into the room where we were fighting the infector. So the thing, let me make your time here a little bit easier. So what you want on Isaac is 0 stasis packs. Just have your stasis refilled. If you don't get the pregnants, then you won't even need stasis whatsoever. So You don't want to run out of ammo over here, and you don't want to run out of med packs. So this is actually pretty difficult if you don't distribute the damage, but just make sure that you have enough bullets, and you have, if you want one stasis pack, if you think you're going to use a lot, that's okay. But the biggest thing here about success is to distribute the damage on these. There's some kind of spores, infected spores, the yellowish, just like all the other things that we've killed that are infected areas on the body. So there's 5 of them. What you want to do is you want to have, because he'll pick you up when you've killed 3 of them. So I distribute the damage. I shoot like 4, and like 4 bullets at a time on each of these. What you want to have happen when he grabs you, there's going to be 2 left when he grabs you. So you want 2 that are right next to each other, so that your bullets have the best chance of hitting them. Because when he grabs you, it's so disorienting, and aiming it's very difficult, because you're at an angle, the camera is moving, and you're pretty much upside down. So just move out of the way of his tentacles. He telegraphs it pretty slowly and openly. But another thing is, like, you just don't for those final 2 tentacles, or what am I talking about? I'm so eager to tell you this. For the spores, you don't want to just have 2 left. You want to have 2 left that have most of their damage taken off of them, because if you're hanging upside down and you're trying to shoot them, it's better to have the 2 left. It's best to have them with only a few hits remaining. You don't want to kill them, but you want just a couple of hits remaining. So, like, ideally, you want just at least like 1 or 2 hits left on these guys, because he gives you 3 chances each time he'll ring you around, and if you fail after 3 chances, he'll eat you, and it takes a long time. There's no restart from checkpoint. But if you can destroy the last 2 pods or spores, what happens is you're let go. So that's the best way to do it. And now what's going to happen is he's going to summon the lackeys, or he won't. Sometimes, 1 out of 10 times, he doesn't summon these lackeys. But if he does, and I actually redid this fight just to show you the lackeys, there's just these 2 guys. And the maddening thing is that he can crush them, and their bellies will get crushed, and you'll have the parasites all over the place. So the best thing to actually do is to just sever their legs. But what can you really do? You're focused on one thing, you get smashed by the other. If the parasites are running around, use the dynamite canisters to destroy all of them. I think I got a little it was convenient over here for me, because I didn't get those bugs coming out. But that's probably the biggest issue of the fight. He'll also throw some projectiles at you, or he won't. It's one of those things again. Oh, this guy was still alive. See why I hate lackeys? I hate fucking lackeys. But you're gonna get your chance to throw the cylinders at his belly there with its throbbing spores, and when he closes the claws over them, it's just time to evade. I think I was trying to grab this canister over here, and it was kind of stuck under his tentacles, so I couldn't get it. But you can actually hold a canister with the kinesis and still evade his tentacles by walking away from where they're going to smash on the ground. So you don't have to use the canisters on his belly area, but it does go faster. But you have to be very precise about where they land. Yep, there we go again. So I'm just going to give up trying to get that canister and just keep sprinting on one side to the other. And there's no more lackeys, just kill the spores. And I want to thank everybody for watching my guide. This video took a long time to edit. It was a really complicated one, but I'm glad I did it. I'm really happy about this guide and this project, and I wish you the best on your own campaign. Right here, just stand back all the way against the screen, and you'll be okay. I have gotten hit here, and it won't kill you, but if you're low on health, it possibly could kill you. So once again, I want to thank everybody for watching, and I'll see you in my next project. Take care.